Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another what sold on eBay video. I have a few previous ones that I'm going to link here that hopefully will help you just gain some knowledge and insights into what sells on eBay. I mainly sell fashion and clothing, but I also sell one-off interesting unique items, so I'm excited to share that with you guys. For those of you that are new here, I am Ashley. I am a stay-at-home mom to 2 little boys, and I also resell on eBay and Amazon part-time while I stay home with them, and it's turned into a nice little side hustle that I absolutely love. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. First off, we have these creepy crawler metal mold sets, and what happened was I purchased a creepy crawlers set in the box. If you guys don't remember, creepy crawlers is from the 90s. It's this little set that melts down goo and you can mold it into all kinds of different shapes.
Squeeze the colored goop into the mold.
I think they've discontinued it, and that's why it's kind of valuable. So I've sold several creepy crawlers in the box from garage sales and thrift stores that have like the heating element and everything. I had all these leftover molds from a garage sale that I went to that I already had sold the set, so I had extra molds and I lotted them together, and surprisingly enough they sold for close to $50 including shipping. So that just kind of shows that there are unique items out there that people are in search of. There's always a buyer for something. And yeah, discontinued stuff that's nostalgic from the 90s really tends to do well for me. So again, like I said, I've sold several of the creepy crawlers sets before and they do well. Okay, so this Lululemon dress, this is a story. So I have a friend who is local who buys high-end items, and whenever she feels like changing out her wardrobe, I come over and I buy things off of her, and we work out a really reasonable price where we're both happy. And I immediately went to these dresses because they were super unique. I don't usually find Lululemon dresses, and sure enough, they're kind of rare. So they sold within a few days. This black one, and then I'm going to show you this gray one. So yeah, both sold pretty quickly and for really good money. So both dresses went for close to $100 each, and I'm really happy with that. They sold quickly. Again, as soon as I saw the dresses, I was like, these are money and I'm gonna grab them. Same with this tunic dress from Lululemon. It's the Effortless dress. I'm going to do another video that showcases how to search for Lululemon items and the name of what they are, because it can be a little confusing. So that will be coming, stay tuned. But in the meantime, all you have to do is Google the style, any features that you can think of that will help you identify it, and sure enough, and the title of the item will usually pull up, and that helps it sell a little bit easier. If I were just to list these as Lululemon dresses, I don't think they'd sell for as much as when I'm able to tell them exactly what the item is and the specific name for it, because a lot of women who love Lululemon are looking for a certain name that goes with their item. So each Lululemon piece has an interesting and unique title. That's why it's important to find exactly what that is. Another example of that is this Lululemon SeaWheeze pullover. Normally the half zip pullovers don't go for $100, but because I knew that this was a SeaWheeze print, which by the way has a really unique logo, which I'll show you here, the SeaWheeze print goes for a lot more. The SeaWheeze styles are really unique and kind of one of a kind, so they go for a lot more, and this is a rare piece that sold within a few hours of when I listed it. Again, if I were to have listed this as Lululemon half zip and for $30, like it might have just gone for that when it could have gone for a lot more. So that's why it's important to know the style and to understand the different types of Lululemon that you can find. I found these Anthropologie like wedges at the thrift store. They were charging like $7.99 for them, so these weren't like a bins find or a dollar find, but I knew they were worth it because they were really cute. Summer's coming up, and any of these kind of espadrille wedges with the ankle strap tend to do pretty well for me. So I scooped them up, and sure enough, they sold for $40 plus $10 shipping. This was another brand that I didn't know the name of, and I actually used my Instagram audience to help me find it. It's actually TNA Aritzia, and I bought it in the dollar bins at a thrift store. They have these dollar bins that you can go through, and everything in there is $1. So I grabbed it. It needed a little bit of help, so I used my sweater shaver. I got the lint off because it's the kind of fabric that, you know, stuff just sticks to it. So I got all that off, and it is a high-end brand, so I scooped it up, and I'm grateful for my Instagram audience for knowing it. This is another Lululemon jacket that I picked up from my local friend, and it is a more rare type of jacket and piece, so I went ahead and scooped it up, and I'm just so happy with all these Lululemon pieces that I found. I'm grateful that she sells to me. She doesn't want to go through the hassle of selling it herself, and so she gives me an amazing deal on them, and I just go ahead and sell them. She gets the cash right away, and then I help my business. So we both win, and that's why I'm so grateful for connections like this. In fact, the way we met was at a garage sale. She was selling her clothing at a garage sale. I bought a ton of it, and when she asked what I do, I was honest. I told her I sell clothing online for a living, and these are great brands. And she was really impressed, and she shared with me what she does, and we became friends. So I would encourage everyone to please make connections with people that you see. You don't have to lie about what you do. Be honest, and you could make a really cool connection with someone who is able to sell you high-end stuff. So this Nike jacket has a funny story. It was listed for a long time at a really high price. I thought it was really unique and special, and it is. But at the end of the day, I just want it sold. It was $1 at a garage sale. So I went ahead and relisted it with the same pictures, but I added a few more keywords to the title and lowered the price a lot. And sure enough, it sold within a few minutes of when I relisted it. So if you have a stale listing, consider taking down the old listing, selling similar, and then changing up the keywords in the title. You can even keep the pictures and lowering the price. And for me, that's worked and helped move a lot of like my older stuff that just has been sitting forever. So consider that before you maybe send something to auction, because auction items just don't go for a lot of money for me. So I'd rather relist and see if it does a little bit better at a lower price than immediately just send to auction. This is a J. Crew brass button military jacket. I've talked before about how I like selling military jackets. This is from 2006, so it's an older style, but it doesn't matter. When it's a certain brand, but it has the style that's up to date, it can be 12 years old, 13 years old, and still relevant. So I picked it up and I'm happy with this sale for $30 plus $6 shipping. I just got it for a few dollars. This is another random item that I picked up that is not clothing related. It's a piggyback rider. It's the kind of thing that a dad can wear at a theme park and the child can stand and hold his shoulders so that they can walk around, dad or a mom. And I picked it up because comps looked really good, and sure enough, it sold within a couple of days for $50 plus $10 shipping. Surprise, surprise, another military jacket. This time I picked up a J. Crew boyfriend fatigue military jacket. I loved this. It's a very Luke Danes style jacket, and it sold for $64.99 plus $10 shipping. It's really trendy, I think, to have military camo, those kinds of jackets. So whenever I see them, I do pick them up, especially if they're brands like J. Crew or Banana Republic, and they do okay. Dansko is a brand that has been up and down for me. Their normal slip-on clogs, like that you see nurses wear, are kind of hit or miss for me these days. But this unique kind of Nell graphite lace-up shoe with the big heel, kind of looks like clogging dancing shoes. They do really well. So these sold for $45 plus $10 shipping. I did pay around $8 or $9 for them, but I knew according to comps that they would sell well, and sure enough, within a couple of weeks they sold. If you've seen a previous video of mine about what sold on eBay, you know that I love picking up varsity jackets, and this was no exception. I found this at the thrift store for $5, and it's vintage, it was wool, it's really nice actually when you touch the material. It was in really good condition, and I was actually kind of tempted to keep it for myself because I'm a big Utah Athletics fan. But it sold for $65 plus $10 shipping. It took like a month, but you just have to wait for the right buyer to come along. So I really love picking up these kinds of jackets now because they do well. Especially if they're vintage, all embroidered, big patch, those kinds of things. This is a Max Mara cropped trench coat, raincoat style. It did have the belt, which was great, but it was missing a button at the shoulder. So that was a flaw, but it's Max Mara, which is really high-end. So I went ahead and grabbed it anyway. It was only $5. And sure enough, it sold for $64.99 plus $6 shipping within a few weeks. So that's why I'm so grateful that I pick up things that are flawed even, because they do tend to sell if they're the right brand. I pick up flawed items all the time. I just disclose the flaw and there is a buyer. They feel like they're getting a good deal, so it's kind of a win-win for both of us. Here is another Lululemon long sleeve shirt. These long sleeve running shirts do tend to do well, so if you find them, pick them up. The Run Swiftly long sleeve, or in this case, this is a Back on Track long sleeve. It's really cute. The stripes, I was tempted to keep it for myself, but it sold for $50 plus $5 shipping, which I was pleased with. The Run Swiftly long sleeves, or even the Run Swiftly with the short sleeves, tends to do pretty well, so know that you're going to get $40 to $50 for them every time. If you've seen any of my previous what sold videos, you saw at the end of one of them that I had picked up 3 Free People Moto jackets that were vegan leather, and one of them sold recently, so I'm really pleased with that. The other one also sold for $50, so I'm just waiting for the last one to sell. Like I had said, I had been hoping to get $50 to $70 for these, and sure enough, that's about where I landed, so I'm really happy with that, especially since I only paid $4 for each of them. And last but not least, summer is coming up, so I grabbed these UGG suede flip-flops. UGG shoes do great, and that's something that I never thought of before I became a reseller, that they would sell well, but they really do. I do have a suede and nubuck cleaning kit, which let me clean up the suede a little bit, and I will do a video on how to clean up shoes in the future, but I cleaned these up a little bit. They were at an estate sale for $10, which is a lot, but I picked them up knowing I could sell them for quite a bit more. And sure enough, I sold them for $34.99 plus $10 shipping. So I'm pleased with that sale. Yeah, I don't like paying $10 for items, but when I know it's gonna sell pretty quickly and for a decent profit, I will pick it up. So a couple of things to maybe consider or think about when you're going thrifting is that if you only have really high-end items that sell for a lot of money, you may not see the kind of traffic that someone who sells a lot cheaper items more frequently does. So that's why I kind of do a mix. You'll sometimes see in my store or in my haul videos like something that'll sell for $10 to $15 plus shipping, which may make you think, why is it worth your time? Well, for me it is, because I tend to sell those things a lot more quickly than the more expensive stuff, unless it's a rare, unique item like those Lululemon dresses. So I have a store that has a mix. I have cheaper items that sell quickly, and then I have medium items that take maybe a week or two that are $30, $40 range, and then I have the higher end items that may take a little bit longer but end up selling for a decent price anyway. So I kind of have the full spectrum for that reason. I want traffic to my store. The more activity eBay sees your store having, the more traffic you're gonna get. So that's kind of why auctions are really good, and lower priced buy it now items can be really good for that reason too. So that's kind of an explanation of why I have a mixture. So if I'm at the Goodwill outlet and I find a pair of maybe lower end jeans that sell for $10 to $15, and I know I'm paying $1.30, $1.50 for the item, then I will pick it up and let it sit and have it sell. And that sale will bring traffic to my store, and suddenly I'll see other things sell that were $30, $40, $20, $25. So I like to have the full range in there. So that's just something to consider. If you have slower sales right now, maybe consider having some lower end, cheaper items in your store that will flip quickly just to bring traffic to it. So anyway, consider having like a mixture of items, and even mixing it up with some hard goods like you saw. I sell not just clothing, and that helps bring traffic to my store too. Maybe just if you're seeing slow sales, broaden your horizons a little bit. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate every single one of you. And if you do like videos like this and you want more, let me know in the comments below and give me a thumbs up so that I know to make more of these videos for you. And if you have video suggestions, please feel free to comment and let me know what you want to see, and I will make it for you. My goal is to help everyone who is trying to grow their business from home, to make it a little easier and share tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. So until next time, you guys, I will catch you later.